was because I was doing coaching for one of my clients who is in his weight loss journey right now. So we were talking about the habit of eating slowly. And this client of mine have been practicing drinking water for the past 2 weeks, and he's been doing brilliantly well. So now we go into the topic of eating slowly, and there was some resistance coming up. In fact, before we officially started this habit, he himself have been experimenting with eating slowly. So the way he has been doing it is he would chew for 40 times, which is the basic guideline given by many people. Chew more often, chew your food more. I, however, didn't give that instruction. However, he decided to go through with that, and he's been experimenting with that for the past few days. And he mentioned that this chewing food for 40 times thingy really makes the food quite bland, as in like it's not so it's not so pleasant to chew the same stuff 40 times because all taste would go away. And at that point in time, I decided to share with him my way of doing it. So I shared with him a couple of ways on how to eat slowly. But and he agreed with that. He wanted to take away the tips that I give him to start practicing on his own. But one thing he mentioned caught my attention, so I wouldn't let him go. He said that, well, it feels like the satisfaction from the meal is gone. And so the moment I heard that, I immediately pay closer attention because I've been doing this for the past 15 years. And I can sort of sense when habits are not going to be adopted well. So I asked him, what do you mean? And so he explained that, food, when we eat that time, it's really for pleasure. It's more like food is something that when it's hot and it's warm, that is when we enjoy it best, right? And that's where my perspective changed from what people normally perceive, because I come from this background of enjoying food. Top 6 in MasterChef Malaysia. Cooking since I was 7 years old. I love good food. Used to love good food. But I've come to after experimenting with over 24 diets, constantly trying to find a diet or a habit which allows me to enjoy food while seeing results, I've kind of come to this certain sense of acceptance. Yes, there are many ways we can hack food so that we can still enjoy different varieties, but always, something has got to give. If I'm doing keto diet, carb has to give. If I'm doing zone diet, fat has to give. If I'm doing paleo diet, gluten has to give, beans have to give. No matter what, if I do intermittent fasting, hunger has to give. If I do IIFYM, IIFYM stands for if it fits your macros, then I will have to count. And once again, if it fits your macros, there will be a tendency of not feeling full. And this has been proven true time and time again across my entire coaching career. So now I know what set off my alarm, because there is still a strong attachment to satisfaction. But I challenge that. Because what is happiness? What is happiness? There are various times which we do things in order for us to be happy, but what exactly is happiness? And all of you guys who are watching, I want you guys to ask yourself this question right now. When was the last time I was actually truly happy? Is it this morning? Is it yesterday? For those of you who answered within this 1 week, I congratulate you. Because for the most part, very few people are actually able to say, yes, I'm happy on a day-to-day basis. So some of you are commenting, is the void that we feel. Some people will say, oh, when I eat, I'm already happy. But if I eat food, I am more happier. So let me ask this question. If we are already as happy as can be, if every single day we are blissed out, as happy as can be, how can food make us even more happier? Is it truly happiness that we are looking for when it comes to food? Or is it pleasure? Because food is pleasurable. It is definitely pleasurable. So I was talking with my client earlier after his personal training session, and asked him, when you do strength training, when you do your set, within that set itself, you feel immense amount of pain, of physical pain. So the moment when you stop, that relief from pain brings you a lot of pleasure. You feel really happy. But is that the baseline? That is not the baseline. When we're sitting down like this, and when I'm not exerting, I don't feel anything. But when I go and do my set, during the workout session, it feels immense pain. And when I stop, it feels good. So likewise, is this state that we're in, is happiness our baseline? And for most part, it is not. It is that pleasure and the so-called joy that we feel when we eat good food, when we drink alcohol, when we indulge in substances. Many different people have various different ways of coping with pain. Some people escape into work, some people escape into food. Some people use drugs, some people use sex. Some people binge watch Netflix. Some people listen to music. Or whatever the way that we use, whatever strategy we use, it is meant for us to temporarily alleviate the pain. And here's where it gets really crazy. After all of my studies with so many people, I've come to this belief that the root of all problems, of all misery, is the attachment to pleasure, is the avoidance of pain and the attachment to pleasure. That is the root of all misery. Because put it this way, if when you watch a movie, if think about that movie that you just watched, whatever movie it is, if there is only good in the movie, if there is no bad guy, there's no antagonist, if there is no plot twist, if there is nothing in there that make you hurt, that make you cry, that make you feel sad, what kind of movie is that? How enjoyable would the movie be? I say it is the pain. It is the pain that gets me pleasure. Trying to put up, I only want good without any form of pain is impossible. It is not a logical thing. You see, life comes with pain and pleasure, but suffering is our own personal choice. Misery is our own personal choice. Life comes with both sides of the story. It has its plot twists, it has its antagonists, it has its hidden acts, it has its whatever, and you are the star in that movie. And we can choose, and you can choose to be fully involved in the act, or you can choose to be a victim. You can choose to be the hero, or you can choose to be an observer. Life comes with it in all spices, all its beauty, all its glory, all its ups and all its down. This up and down is the point. And when I finally understood that, that was the end of my suffering. Yes, Jamie, a good emotional movie can help you unlock something. Is all you've been doing is suppressing your feelings and escaping from dealing with it. Like the Queen's Gambit, which I just recently finished, that was an amazing show for me. I won't go into that, but there is basically all I'm trying to say is this consciousness that we have. If we use it to observe, if we train this consciousness, we are then working on ourselves in such a way that eventually, we are able to accept life the way it is. Because life holds no boundaries. It is exponential. It is intense. When it comes, it comes. It is how much we allow ourselves to experience life that makes us happy. So I say food, substances, right? Sex, retail therapy, workaholism, all of these things, none of them are happiness. Those are small pleasures. Yogis are not things like people like monks, yogis. There's a kind of saying, it's not that they are withholding themselves from pleasure. They are withholding themselves from small pleasures so that they can experience the larger pleasures. So with that being said, that is my sharing for today. Do check out The Queen's Gambit. For me, I cried on the last episode. I don't mind sharing that. I really cried like a boy, like a baby on the last episode. It was such an amazing movie for me because this character, all her life, she did not allow love to happen to her, even though it has always been there all along. And it was that turning point. I won't give any spoilers, but it is that turning point when she truly embraced who she is, when she truly embraced the truth that she is loved. That was when she started to win. And you should really go and watch it. It was an amazing show. That is all my sharing for today. I shall see you guys again tomorrow morning, 6:45 a.m. In the meantime, everything that I've been sharing lately is got to do with this mental health thing. And I am very, very excited to very soon launch a webinar, which I would like you guys to join. If you guys, if let's say things like procrastination, not being able to do the things that you know you should be doing. If let's say you know that you need to be eating the healthier food, but you've been making not suboptimal choices. If you know that you need to be taking care of yourself, but you've been not taking care of yourself, either due to guilt for self-care or anything like that, I would like you to watch this space. Watch out, because that webinar is gonna show you guys how to permanently overcome procrastination. So with that being said, I shall see you guys tomorrow morning, 6:45 a.m. In the meantime, stay true, stay healthy, and stay safe.